Hello all. I really wanted to do a video today, but I didn't feel like playing video games and recording commentary, and I didn't want to spend a terribly long time making videos because it was between probably what you would have thought was more interesting. Sharing my movie and TV show collection, or sharing my Funko Pop collection. And since Funko Pops are more or less easily accessible as long as I don't pull them out, I figured I would share that instead. So, the first time I've ever saw Funko Pops were at Barnes & Noble, if you're not familiar with that. It's a bookstore, and it has like random pop culture stuff kind of in the middle. They also sell movies and music as well. They have a cafe, sometimes it's a Starbucks. But anyway, it was during a time where you really couldn't find Ghostbusters merchandise, and from what I remember, most of the Funko Pops that I saw at Barnes & Noble happened to be from 80s franchises, and I happened to come across these Ghostbuster Funko Pops, which were really cool. I mean, they were simple, but they were Ghostbusters. I saw Back to the Future ones, but Ghostbusters... Back to the Future is quite up there, but Ghostbusters is probably my all-time most watched favorite movie, as I'm sure you know by now if you watch my channel regularly. I had no idea that they were going to be a thing, or be collectible in any way. I thought Ghostbusters were going to be the last ones that I would buy, and it took about a few years before I ended up seeing more that I wanted. I worked at a place that sold a ton of different ones. I'd see them every day, and they had a lot of franchises that I liked, and with the huge store discount of being an employee discount, like, it was so easy to give in and then buy the ones you wanted. But these, and I'll show you the two other ones, were the first Funko Pops I ever bought. I don't have the boxes for these anymore because I didn't think I was going to buy any more. Like, I don't buy them to collect them, to sell them later, but I've come to find out later on the boxes are awesome because they're stackable. And I don't know, I like the artwork on the boxes, but at the time I just wanted the figures on my shelf, and really that's what they're meant for. But I almost think they look cooler in the box, to be honest with you, except for a handful. But these are the first ones I bought. This is dusty, I need a dust, I know, so you can feel free to leave it in the comment section. I got this Slimer and this Stay Puft Behind Chatterer. So those were the first ones I got. They had a Winston, but he came with this huge ass Ecto one, which I thought was ugly, and I just wanted a Winston figure. But eventually I got one. So these are two variations. I don't buy variations. Like, when the store was closing, nobody wanted it, and it's weird, like, I feel sympathetic for toys that people don't buy, so I bought the variations. Oh, those are the Stranger Things Ghostbusters version of the kids from season 2. That was something else that nobody bought, but I wanted to buy it anyway. But I think it was like $60 or $70, and it ended up, I think I got this for like $15 or $16, which is crazy because those figures would have been probably over $20 a piece. Oh, there's my metal lunchbox I got with the last thing I had ever bought from GameStop, which was Doom Eternal, which was really cool. I didn't even know it was going to come with that. So these are scenes. I apologize if you see my reflection. I gave myself a quarantine haircut, which is why when I do videos I usually wear a hat right now. but it's slowly going back to normal. This is the newer Ghostbusters. They did Ghostbusters twice, and these are like the more detailed versions. And then those are Rise of the Skywalker Rey. I really like that evil version of Rey. So I've tried to collect every single version of Spider-Gwen. Even Gwenom, which apparently was a thing. This these, like, I just like Spider-Man in general, but I don't know, because there's so much Spider-Man stuff, and I really like the Gwen Stacy storyline, and Spider-Gwen's like an alternate universe Gwen Stacy, so it's like two franchises I really like, so I made a point to collect those. Those are Coraline Pops. That's actually a diamond one, which essentially means it's coated with asbestos that looks like glitter. No, it's just glitter. And I believe that Diva is a diamond one. One of them are diamond. I don't know what number it is. But I typically collect most of the variants of Diva as well, which is like the character I typically play as in Overwatch. That and Mercy. And then I just thought the Tracer looks cool. I occasionally play as Tracer. These were the newer Ghostbusters. And I finally got a Winston because they came out with one that was standalone, but they look a lot more accurate than the old ones, especially on the Proton packs. One of my favorite go-to shows are The Office. They had a bunch of variants and like 2-packs, but I just got the main characters, and then the Prison Mike, which was hilarious. That was a store exclusive, but it happened to be in the store where I got all my other Office Pops from, so it was like win-win. I got those all at the same time. I think I might have got Prison Mike afterwards, but I got it from the same place that I got all of them. There's Ghost in the Shell. I wish they had the anime version, but I mean, close enough, it's whatever. And then there's Persona 5 Pops, which I wish they would come out with more so they'd have the characters. I've tried to collect all the Beetlejuice ones that I've come across. And Little Shop of Horrors, another one of my favorite Halloween movies to go to. The only one I don't have is Baby Audrey 2, which was really cool because it came in a coffee can. It was like a Target exclusive. But, you know, whatever. I don't need to have every single one. It's cool to have Little Shop of Horrors merchandise in general. Twin Peaks, like, I just picked the main characters, but they had other characters in the series, which you can see here. And then there's Alien, I believe it was the 40th anniversary that these came out with, and then there was one of the stores had a variant of Ripley. I think it might have came with Jonesy. I can't remember. But she was in like a spacesuit. But I know there was another one. And this was a surprise movie. I ended up watching and really liked it, and I found out it was like based on a manga, which also has its own anime, which was Alita Battle Angel, and then I think the anime in the book might be called Battle Angel Alita. I don't know. But I really liked the movie. It was like a Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron collaboration. I've only seen the 4K version, but I got the version that's also in 3D. I guess I should see the 3D one next. If I ever end up doing the movie video, which will take quite some time, I'm sure you'll see it and maybe hear about it. And these are icon ones, which I really like. It's Hot Topic Girl, it's hilarious. Nebula, which I like with the last two Avengers movie, especially the last Avengers movie. Beside Iron Man, I thought she was like the best character, or like my favorite character. She ended up being like really cool character. The Chucky one's hilarious. Only Cowboy Bebop one that I got, and that one came out later, like the Ed and Ian, but whatever. I wish I would have got it, but this one came out way after, and then I tried to go back and get the other ones, but I didn't have it. And then there's Ash vs. Evil Dead. There's a Bloody Ash variant, if you were curious, but that's basically the whole set. And then there's the Blade Runner 2049. I wish they came out with the original Blade Runner pops, but these are still really cool to have Blade Runner merchandise in general. NECA came out with a lot of cool Blade Runner 2049 stuff. The only ones I don't have are Wallace and whoever, I don't know what the character's name is. That's the cat, if you're wondering what that blob was. Whoever Batista plays in the early in the movie, there's that, and then Wallace. But you know, I got the ones that I wanted. So here's a Twin Peaks one that I thought was really cool. From what I've noticed, the Twin Peaks one didn't sell, and there's the Nuka girl from Fallout. There's Scott Pilgrim. There's a bunch of variants of those in 2-packs, but these are the only ones that I've seen in person. I would have loved to got the other characters, but it's cool to have these. Apparently the Ramona Flowers one, even though like I was just getting it because I liked it, that might be the Funko Pop that I have that's like worth the most. A lot of times with collecting, it's the ones that you don't expect. I also started collecting like a lot of Jyn Erso ones, but there were like way too many variants, so I kind of gave up over time. But I really like the Jyn Erso character from Star Wars Rogue One. And there's Castlevania's one of, if Castlevania Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time, and Castlevania is one of my favorite series of all time. I don't know what it's kind of weird, like I know what my favorite game is, but as a series it's kind of, that's a more difficult question, because you know, you might have a series but not every game in the series is amazing, and you might have another series that it might not have your favorite game in it, but there's more games that you like more in that series. I don't know. I'm like filming, I'm going to watch this and I'm probably not making any sense. There's Lilith from Borderlands. I believe that design's from Borderlands 3. Even though she still has the tattoos, but all of the Borderlands 3 merchandise, she seems to have them. There are 2 characters from, well, 3 characters, because we have 11. I really like the character Robin. I wish I would have gotten Steve when I got Robin, so Robin came out way after Steve, but I didn't want to just get Steve without Robin, so I held off, and then I ended up just with Robin, so whatever. And then the Lexi one's just hilarious, because it actually has a 7-Eleven branded Slurpee. That's also why I like this 11, is because she actually has a box of licensed Eggos. It's not like some fake thing they made, so they didn't have to license the brand. The same thing with Lexi's Slurpee. And then I managed to get the 2 together like I wanted to with Robin and Steve, but I guess I got the Snowball ones. And oh, I went down too fast. That's what she said. I apologize about that. So this is Dracula, Alucard, Sypha, and they're from the Netflix series, but it's based off of Castlevania 3, which is one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. Maybe Castlevania is my favorite series, who knows? The 3D ones get questionable. And I never got the Tyrant and the Hunter because they were bigger pops, and at the time I was kind of against getting the bigger pops. Of course, you saw I backed out of that. But there was a Tyrant and a Hunter. Surprised Nemesis wasn't big, but the other regular sized ones was Leon Leon might have been the only regular size one that I can think of. But it was Leon from Resident Evil 4, which I would have loved it if it was Leon from Resident Evil 2. I'm surprised they didn't make a Claire one too. So I thought these all went together because all these characters are in the same game, even though Jill's dressed up like Resident Evil 1 Jill. So I like Resident Evil 4, but it's definitely lower on the spectrum of my favorites. So this is blasphemous, but I like Resident Evil 6 more than 4. Chun-Li, which is like my Street Fighter 2 main, and then Cammy, because it was another Street Fighter 2 one. I have Ciri from The Witcher. I wanted to get Geralt, but she came out after, and then I think they eventually came out with one, but then all the stuff in the world started happening that we're not supposed to talk about on YouTube, and then the store that had them were closed, because these were like convention exclusives, because the TV show came out, so they re-released glow-in-the-dark version. So that's not the original series, that's a glow-in-the-dark one, and I'm like a 5-year-old kid, like I'm like glow-in-the-dark. I'm not, like, I really like the Witcher games, but I wouldn't call me a fanatic of them, but the glow-in-the-dark part kind of won me over. BioShock Infinite, one of my favorite games of all time. So there was a Booker with a shotgun, but I'm like, if I had to pick one, I want the one with the skyhook. There's Elizabeth. I don't think there were other ones that I know of beside, like, I think there was like a Big Daddy and possibly a Songbird, but again, those are bigger ones. And then there's Jacob and Evie Fry from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. So we have Evangelion, which I've heard it pronounced both ways on the English dub. I looked it up. The actual word on Webster's dictionary, it pronounces Evangelion. I looked on YouTube to see like how like hardcore fans pronounce it. Everybody pronounces it different, so I said it both ways, but those are the 3 main pops. There was like a special edition of the one on the left, like in her school uniform, but that one came out way earlier, and I never got to see the series until it was released on Netflix. So when that one was released, I didn't care about it. And now it goes for $30 for like, which essentially is an $8 pop. So I haven't justified it yet. Maybe if I watch it one more time, I'll justify it. But I really like the original TV series. I haven't watched the newer ones. I heard that one wasn't completed, and then I haven't finished the movies, because the movies are like truncated versions of the show with more scenes, and I don't know. I feel like I got everything I needed, at least for right now, from the show. And there's the Bombshell, Catwoman, the 1989 Batman, which is my personal favorite, Harley Quinn, Imposter. I think that's supposed to be Batwoman. It's not really clear. It's harder to tell in Funko Pop form. As you can see, I collect quite a few Harley Quinns. They're different variants. One on the far right's like from her newer version of the comic book series, because originally she had like red and black hair, and then when they did a soft reboot after the Suicide Squad came out, they kind of changed her look a little bit. And that's where that looks from. And then that's just her dressed up as Robin. There's the Arkham Knight version of Harley Quinn, and then that's the Bombshell version of Harley Quinn. And the Bombshell characters, there's like statues, calendars, comic books, so it's not just a Funko Pop thing. Basically they're like designed after World War II pinup models and posters and whatnot. And Dragon Ball Z, and they're all the females because those are the ones that it seems like nobody buys. So I feel bad that like nobody adopts them like they're orphans. I know it's really pathetic, but like I picked them up. So it's like Chi-Chi, Videl, Android 18, and Bulma. And there's other versions of Bulma because she's like probably the most popular female character, and she was in the original series. I don't know that much about Dragon Ball Z. I'm kind of like a casual fan. Not even sure it's like the fan. I just enjoy some of the stuff, like some of the like I don't mind watching episodes. I enjoy them, but I haven't seen every episode. I enjoy some of the games. That kind of casual. There's Catwoman. That's like the Jim Lee version. And that one I did take out of the box because that was after I got the Ed and Ian pop. This was the only Cowboy Bebop thing I came across, and I did take this out of the box because the stained glass is actually transparent. It looks really cool, and it captures one of the most iconic scenes from an iconic episode. And then there's Elvira. And then there's Diva and her mecha. I think, pretty sure that's like the standard one. I'm colorblind, but I believe that's pink, and that's the one you start out with in the game. And again with the Gwen Stacy theme, although I don't know if Gwenpool is necessarily Gwen Stacy, but it kind of goes with that theme of being like, I think it's like Gwen Stacy. Her name's like Gwen Stacy, but she's like different Gwen Stacy. It's not even like an alternate universe. It's weird. But I ended up buying them before I knew all this, and actually have one of the comics. And actually read the book. And then there's FLCL Pops, which is Fooly Cooly, which is an awesome, really super surreal anime. I have like all the characters. They never came out with any characters from the sequel series, which was Progressive and Alternative. This is just from the first season, and the seasons are only like 6 episodes. I don't know, like the soundtrack by the Pillows, and it's just a really cool, surreal, artistic series, and I like it a lot. And when I found out they were making pops of it, that's the only Fooly Cooly merchandise I've ever seen in person, so it's like, I have to have it. I don't have to have it, like I'm not going to die or anything, but if it's available and I have the money, I'll be more than happy to take it off their hands. And there's another Evangelion pop, or Evangelion, if you will. And this is EVA Unit 1. As far as I know, they didn't come out with the other units. Apologize that these are harder to see. I believe that is the whole collection. I'm probably going to stop this video and forget about it. And then I'll end up seeing like pops I forgot about, but I believe that's all of them. I mean, that's probably all you care to see, if you even care to see them. Maybe you just wanted to hear me talk. Maybe you're just really bored. I don't know. There's my Playmobil Ecto 1, which is actually more realistic than the Ecto 1 toy I had when I was a little kid. Like, it was like smashed together, like it was never that long. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe mentally, physically, especially mentally, because I can fuck up the physical part. So anyway, hope you're all doing well, stay safe, and thank you for watching my video. Take care. Bye.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe! Thanks for watching!